Olympic Stadium at Rabat in Morocco. The host led 2-0 at halftime, while the second half witnessed a totally different Falcons who came back 3 times to complete.
رئيس الاتحاد الدولي لكرة القدم رئيس الاتحاد الدولي لكرة القدم لاحظ بأن نيجيريا استحوذ
Nigeria.
That winning the championship. But what I particularly like about the final first is the coach.
Okay. Justin.
Backs, yes. They isolated our fullbacks and the backs, yes. They isolated our fullbacks and the 2 goals came from our fullbacks, both on the left and on the right. 2 goals came from our fullbacks, both on the left and on the right. But in the second half, one of the things that we should note was that Morocco, throughout the competition, showed that in Canada in Canada, she now became visible. And when she was invited to the Super Falcons, a lot of people complained. Who is Esther Okoroko? Who is Esther Okoroko? In fact, they felt maybe people would have felt maybe because of the influence of the father and all that.
Chiagene on the bench. These are very good players. Chiagene on the bench. These are very good players, and Okoronko felt isolated because Babaji, that Okoronko, whom I saw in that game, the Moroccans were unable to take the ball from him. Every time he had the ball, he was also coming into the game. Because our team is aging gradually, but with some of the young girls like Esther Okoronko, I think the future remains bright for us. So we just need to continue to strengthen the game in Nigeria, support the league, because we are not doing that as a country. We need to support the Women's League so that the Women's League can produce more young talents, and let's have more soccer academies for the girls. I like the fact that Sister Oshoala is doing something along that line. Let us do more of that. Let's have more female teams. Let's have a vibrant female league like we used to have. Players from Cameroon used to come and play in the women's league in Nigeria. We need to make that league strong, because once we do that, we'll continue to produce talents. We must remember that the likes of Zambia, Morocco, and South Africa, they are pursuing us rapidly, and if we are not careful, they will overtake us. The way some countries in Africa have now overtaken Nigeria when it comes to short sprints. He's talking about athletics. We should not allow that to happen. So congratulations to the guests. Congratulations to Nigeria. And I hope that our men's team will take
borrow a leaf.
A cue. Yes, they take a cue from this and do their best to dominate the game in our continent, at least.
Yeah, BK, let me quickly tease you with this one. I'm drawing a parallel here. You know, in that team, the Falcons team, we have an Okoronkwo there, an Akpan there. If you see everybody from all around the country, which is telling you and I that if we join hands together, we can make it happen for us. Don't you think?
Yes. I was looking at the lineup. I saw that there were about 5 Yoruba guests.
Okay.
About six Igbo guests. You know, for people like Plumtier, even Pain is also a Yoruba girl.
Okay.
We had people like Monisola, Rashidas, you know. So you see the Igbos and the Yorubas at each other's neck. We see each other as rivals. Needless rivalry between us. But you can see the way these guests show so much joy. They are happy to dance together. They are happy to sing, Christian songs. Nobody will say, no, why are you singing Christian songs? So they were happy to work together, to sacrifice together, to edify the name of their country. But here in Nigeria, we see people even praying for Nigeria to fail.
Yeah.
One misguided journalist even went as far as publishing that we had lost the game because they didn't expect that we'll come back. Some of them were saying Nigeria should not win anything under a Tinubu presidency. Absolute nonsense.
Can you imagine?
We need to grow beyond this.
Oh, yeah.
We need to come together as one nation, fight for our country, edify the name of our country the way these guests have done. They have set the right example for us. And I hope that those who see nothing good in our country, but will not leave our country to go and live elsewhere, will realize that Nigeria is a great country.
Yeah.
Nigeria is a country that we should take so much pride in. Nigeria is a country that we should be ready to fight for, to defend with everything that God has deposited in us.
Thank you very kindly. Mayor, in going home on this matter, Mr. President's words to the girls, for me, was made you feel 10 foot taller.
It was good, but it could be better. What I want to see is for the girls to be rewarded, just like we rewarded the male national team.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that they couldn't win in Côte d'Ivoire, they were runners-up, but they were well compensated by the government because they were well appreciated by what they did. And we must do the same thing for these ladies because most times we spend so much money on the Super Eagles and we don't spend that same corresponding kind of money for the Super Falcons.
Yeah.
And the Super Falcons have been far more successful than the Super Eagles. So I want the girls to be rewarded for what they've done because it's not easy to win the Continental Championship for 10 times.
The 10th time,
so the Ladesima Bushu, it is important for us to reward them so that they will know that the country is appreciative of their efforts.
All right. Congrats, Falcons. Journalist Hangout is behind you. And now, all right, to our next story. You know, to be a great promise keeper suggests that you think deeply before acting, even as you consider the consequences of not keeping the promise. Less than 100 days in office, Governor Monday Okwebolo, the Edo State Chief Executive, ordered an urgent renovation of public primary schools in his domain. A scandalized Governor Okwebolo was visibly miffed at the dilapidated state of some public schools. In keeping to his promise, the governor continues to drive change by giving Udomi Primary School a makeover. Let's share the moment when the students were thanking the governor for the gesture. Come with us.
At this school, we always using 3 classrooms and a headmaster's office. Because there was no space for us, we compacted 2 classes to 1 classroom. When you are teaching primary 6 scheme of work, the primary 5 are not up to that age, should be learning on that one. It will be source of stress to them. Then if you are not teaching primary 5, which you are bringing primary 6 backward, it greatly affects the psychological learning of the pupils.
Our classroom looks like somebody's sitting room. The chairs are low, they are not comfortable for the student to sit down. When they are teaching, we find it difficult for us to see the board. We always tear our uniforms. We
have glass window. When there's rain, air can blow rain even inside the classes. If any of them got broken, it can injure the pupils.
The projects here are renovation of 3 classroom blocks with office, construction of a block of 5 classrooms with office, and also construction of a 6-chamber toilet and maintenance of the existing fence.
happy the condition my school is in now. The old structure that was there is gone, but now you can see the building behind me, how fine it is. If you have seen this one, nobody can remember the dilapidated building here before, because it has been restructured now by this present administration of Senator Monday Okpebholo as the governor of Edo State.
The new school is very beautiful. If the teacher is teaching us, we can see the board very well. And I like the chair in the new school. It's high and comfortable. Primary 5 has their own class and primary 6 has their own class. The two classes are not combined together. Now we cannot understand what the teacher is teaching us.
You can see the roof, you can see the ceiling. This room was just ordinary floor. Now the floor has been tiled. Now iron door, then iron window that are more durable than other glasses we were using before. We have a standard chair and a desk that when people sitting on it, they sit comfortably. We were using practical board before. They have now replaced with a marker board, white one. Before, we have a pit toilet, but now, if you can look around by my left here, a modern toilet with water closet.
I want to thank Senator Monday Okpebholo, aka Akpakomuza, for the good environment and the new school he brought for us. This is making our learning very good and comfortable. Thank you, sir.
The pupils are happy. The teachers are happy. Even the community people, they are happy all together. God will strengthen him to do more, and God will protect him. Long live Edo State, and long live Governor of Edo State, Mr. Monday Okpebholo. Indeed, a new Edo has risen. I will pray we all live to enjoy it in Jesus' name.
Thank you. Mayor, quickly, as we say in this business, pictures don't tell lies.
Yes, yes. We have to commend the governor.
Yeah.
You see, it's sad that we talk about renovation of primary school. Normally in a senior client or where people are doing what is expected of them, we should not be talking about renovation of primary schools. But
it should go without saying.
Yes, that's the kind of environment that we have. That is the kind of political space that we have. You will see government that will abandon the infrastructures in schools, and you will see students in the 21st century sitting down on bare floor to receive lectures. So when we see a governor that identified that problem and did something about it, we have to commend him.
Yeah.
It is sad that you have to, you see, a lot of our leaders, they because they don't do anything, we have lowered the standard so much that
drop the ball.
Yes, that when they do things that should be assumed normal, we commend them for it, because over time they've shown this nonchalant attitude and they've not done the needful. So we want to commend the governor, because if you identify a problem and you do something about it, it's something that we should commend him. And I want to ask him, and one of the things is that the governor of Edo State seems to be achieving a lot. People may criticize him. He may not have good communication skill, but in his own way, silently is achieving things. He's doing things that those who have spoken so much grammar were not doing, because when you leave a primary school and you didn't create the kind of environment where people will be able to learn properly, then you are not helping the students. You are not helping them. But he has done the needful, and I want to appeal to him to extend such innovations to other schools
and institutions.
In the state. Yes, other schools and institutions in the state, because this kind of thing should be assumed that that's the normal thing. We must not allow schools to be dilapidated, and we expect students to learn within that environment and be able to do something good. So we have to commend him.
Okay, Biko, we are back again with you. The Edo State helmsman is said to be a promise keeper. So that's it. I know every once in a while, Biko, you always draw a parallel with what Governor Babagana Zulum is doing in this regard in Borno State.
Yes, he has started very well, just the same way that Governor Zulum started, rolling out some incredible projects within his first 100 days in office. I've seen Governor Monday Okwebolo do some very remarkable things in his first 100 days in office. In fact, the first flyover in the heart of Benin is already on. It's one of the projects that initiated during his first 100 days. And of course, he also declared a state of emergency in the education sector of the state during his first 100 days. So he is someone who is focused. Yes, just as Mayor said, he may not speak excellent English, but that's not really what the people want. Excellent English will not deliver dividends of democracy. You have to be focused. People have to see what you are doing. You have to show that you love the people. And I like the fact that his own humble beginning has ensured that he does not want to see people suffer. All he wants is for things to move in the right direction. He's building new roads in places that were long abandoned. He's fixing school infrastructure, even in the heart of the state capital. You can't believe that there were schools in the state capital without roofs. And as the governor said, when the children look up, they see the sky. There are videos of these schools, and after they were fixed, you can imagine Ikobaoka is in the heart of Benin City. Yet there were schools in Ikobaoka without roof, with students, pupils sitting on the bare floor. School infrastructure had collapsed to the extent that classes were being merged. You see primary 5 and 6 merged in the same classroom. How do you do that, for God's sake, in this modern age?
What are you teaching?
Now you can see. Yes, how do you merge two different classes?
Yeah.
To what end? So these are the things that he's addressing, and he's also building perimeter fence around those schools, because burglars come and loot school property. Some of them even defecate inside classrooms.
Okay.
So many terrible things that this young man inherited, but he's trying his best, because what do you gain complaining to people that this is not it's not my fault that things are in this state? You have to do something, and it will give you the timeline. I want this fixed within 3 months. We'll be back in 3 months to see whether you've done it, and I'm happy that changes are happening. Look at this school, for example. They had public toilets. The public toilets have been replaced with modern toilets, water system. People can flush the excrement and all that. They didn't have that. They had blackboard in terrible shape. Now blackboards have been replaced with magic board. So the school environment is being made modern, more conducive. There's no way that children won't be happy, won't feel like going to school. I remember my second son. One day I was just playing with him. I wanted to stop him from going to school. I was pulling him. You see the way he protested. I quickly ran after my wife. That was to tell me that, look, I enjoy going to school. But if the environment was terrible, honestly, he would not even want to go to school. You will not want to go to school. If you are in a school where when the rain falls, you get beaten by the rain inside your classroom, where you sit on the bare floor, your whole body will be aching once you get back home. There's no way people will enjoy going to such schools. And it will reflect even in the academic performances of the children. There's no way it won't reflect.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, so a conducive environment is also has something to do with even the academic performance of those students. Even the quality of instruction will improve, because the teachers too will be happy to teach in a much more conducive environment. If you go to some of the schools in Borno State, for example, you will have the classrooms are already they have chillers in some of those classrooms.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the harsh weather. Yes, so the students will feel comfortable in those classrooms, and they will feel like coming back. There's nothing like having a classroom with good furniture and all that. Some of the schools, those state schools that this government is changing, They didn't even have school furniture. They were sitting on the bare floor. They will bring these blocks, building blocks. They will bring them to the classroom and sit on them as their chair. Come on.
Okay.
We have no reason to treat our children like animals. They deserve a lot more from us.
Yeah.
Because some of the people who are in government today went to good schools, good public schools. Some of them benefited from free education. So why can't they commit funds to education?
Yeah.
Why is it difficult? So education should be our first priority, our second priority, our third priority. That's the way it should be. And that's the way we can raise great leaders for tomorrow.
Yeah. And Mayor, one thing cannot be lost on me here. One of the students in Focus gave us the nickname of the governor. Tells you the governor is a personable gentleman.
No, he is. That's what I'm saying, that you see, there are some people who they in a very quiet manner, they go about doing their job and
silently.
doing it well, silently. And it seems to be doing that, because the other days he has done so much. And I'm impressed with him. It's just that some people criticize him because of his lack of communication skill. But heck, the people of Edo State didn't vote him to speak grammar or he can
he was
speak
an
well.
orator. No.
That's not why they voted for him. They voted for him to be able to change their lives and impact positively. And he's doing just that in different fields, infrastructures and all that, education. So I'm impressed with what he's doing. And I think that it is important for other governors to look at what will really touch the people.
It can be done.
And do that, and do it.
It can be done.
Instead of spending time on resources of the politics.
It's not rocket science.
Yes, you can identify the needs of your people and then attend to those needs. That is why you can impact them. That's why they can feel positively the impact of government.
And you know that he has achieved this inside his first 100 days.
Shows that he knows what he's doing.
Tells you more will be coming.
Of course, yes.
So, Governor Okwebolo, JH, Journalist Hangout, wishes you well. Thank you. All right, to our next story. You know, the Amotekun Corps, also known as Western Nigeria Security Network, was a child of circumstance. The need to sustain the Amotekun momentum cannot be overstressed, therefore. Now, the Ekiti State government has recruited an additional 404 personnel into the state security network. For the records, the Amotekun is also known as the Agro-Martial and Anti-Grazing Corps. The special advisor to Governor Biodun Oyebanji, Ebenezer Ogudana, himself a retired brigadier general in the army, said the recruitment is the icing on the cake for the state security architecture. Let's share this story with you. Come with.
It is another step forward in the quest for peace and security in Ekiti State. 400 new recruits have officially joined the ranks of Amotekun Corps and the Agro Rangers.
Are we going first
the local
to
security
DKO?
outfits charged with protecting lives and properties across the state.
Can you hear me?
The passing out parade held in Ekiti was filled with color, pride, and a renewed sense of duty, as Governor Biodun Oyebanji, represented by his special advisor on security, reviewed the parade and commended the officers for choosing to serve. Governor Oyebanji said the recruitment of the new personnel is part of ongoing efforts to strengthen grassroots security and tackle issues like kidnapping, robbery, and farm invasions head on.
These people are joining a structure that is already on ground. We have Amotekun, we have Agro-Martial, and we have Anti-Grazing fully on ground. These people is to beef up the strength of what we have on ground.
The new recruits, who have undergone weeks of intensive training in community policing, intelligence gathering, and bush combat, will be deployed across all local governments in the state.
We have been advising them to be responsible to the state and ensure that the state is properly put in security perspective to address crimes in the state.
Residents and traditional rulers at the event say they feel more confident with Amotekun on the ground, especially in rural areas where security presence is often thin.
You know, peace is costly. You know, security is such an important aspect of it. Without a secure environment, how can you have a developed society? So,
in addressing security challenges in Nigeria, Ekiti's model of community-based security offers a homegrown solution. And for these 400 new officers, the mission to protect and serve is just beginning. Adeola Aderibigbe, TVC News, Ekiti.
All right, we'll go back to Aman BKO. BKO, so here we are. Amotekun is going places. How do you weigh in here?
Yes, I am happy that the governor of Ekiti State is one of the governors who truly values the place of Amotekun in Southwest security. We won a decisive war some years back when the then governor of Edo State and others pushed hard for Amotekun, and they eventually got President Tinubu's backing, pushing the then Attorney General to agree for Amotekun to be created, but that each state should come up with its own law to allow for a home-sourced security initiative, because regionalism was unconstitutional, and they were seeing the idea of Amotekun, a security outfit for the Southwest states, as a form of, as a way of bringing back regionalism that was no longer known to our constitution. So you see that in Lagos State, there was no need for Amotekun because we already had the neighborhood corps, based on a bill introduced by the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. So each state came up with its own law, so that it doesn't look like it is a regional security outfit, which was the fear of people at the center at that time, led by the Attorney General of the Federation. Invariably, these states were allowed to create that security outfit. Ondo State has done tremendously well. Osun doing well. Now we are seeing Ekiti State also doing well in that area. What this governor has done that has necessitated strengthening Amotekun in the state and having having a security outfit that will be looking after the security of farmers, which is Agro Rangers. Agro Rangers has already been used effectively in Borno State. Now we are seeing Ekiti State coming up with Agro Rangers as well, because one notable achievement of the Oyebanji administration that people don't talk about is the resuscitation of the farms that Awolowo instituted in those days. Yes. Yeah. Awolowo had those farms in different parts of the Southwest
at the time.
The Western region at that time. So, and those farms were lying fallow. The same way the one in Fashola close to Oyo State was lying fallow, and the Oyo State governor revived it. The governor of Ekiti State has revived some of those farms that Awolowo created in those days. And for that reason, there is a need to protect the farmers. The governor also has a program that has incorporated the young people, youths, into farming and is yielding dividends. So he knows that one way to discourage people from embarking on agriculture is to not protect them, to not give them the maximum security that they need to be able to access their farms, to be able to move their produce from point to point. So beyond even providing, roads, to make those farms more accessible. He is providing security, and that is why they are recruiting more people into Amotekun, more people into the agro rangers. And the Nigerian Army has undertaken to help them train these people.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation, because once they have the training that they need and they are prepared to work in synergy with the police, once people are arrested, it is not their duty to prosecute. They hand over to the police.
Yeah.
The police will then do the needful. So you can see community policing working. State police is not here yet, but we'll make do with what we have. Community policing is what we can do effectively now under the law. So that is what Ekiti is doing. They are recruiting more people into the Amotekun Corps, into the agro rangers, and they will be working in tandem with the police to apprehend criminals and get those criminals to face the long arm of the law. So I'm happy. And you can see Ekiti is becoming more and more secure, because a lot of the forests are being cultivated now, because Ekiti is coming up with probably the biggest cassava farm in our country. So they want to cultivate and tractorize as many fields as possible. And the more they do that, the more they deny these undesirable elements, places where they can hide and kidnap people. Yes, so this is what we are seeing, and I think the governor deserves kudos for the foresight.
And why not? Mayor, where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, we should not forget how Amotekun came to be.
Okay.
The Fulani herders.
Bless his soul. Arakurin.
Yes. The Fulani herders were moving from the north, and they were infiltrating the southwest, especially in the Okeogun area of Oyo State.
Okay.
And it became a major problem. You remember that was all brought up Sunday Igboho, and all the noise about Yoruba Nation and all that. They are killing our people and all that. And the governors of Southwest met and decided to come up with this security outfit. That has been very effective, especially in Edo State, because like you said, Arakuni really believed in it, and it was like the arrowhead of the project. And subsequently, they've done well, because that is what we try to explain to other governors, especially in the Northwest and the North Central, that they must come up with a security outfit that will be an alternative to the security architecture as presently constituted. And in Edo State, Amotekun has been able to do a lot of things. Ditto for other states in Oyo State, now in Ekiti State. And recruiting more personnel will help strengthen that security, because most of these Fulani herders and bandits and people and these criminal elements, they reside in the forest in all these states. So it is important for you to be able to recruit people within that area who are conversant with that area. They know the terrain, so it's easier for them to be able to police those forests and then make arrests and hand over to the police.
I'm looking at the recruitment helping to decongest the labor market, if you see what I mean.
Yes, that's part of it, yes. But even, it is not because the personnel, okay, 400 is important, but it is what they will achieve with those 400 men. Because by providing security, because you know that part of the problem that we have with this food crisis within the country is that a lot of farmers in the north could not access their farms because of the security situations. So if you provide security for people who are going to provide the food that is needed, it will have a multiplier effect.
Obviously.
So that is more important than the recruitment itself, because their job basically is to make sure that they provide security for people in their farms, so that they won't think of some criminal elements who call themselves herders, and so that is the way to go. In fact, I expect the governor in no short time to even recruit more people, because the more you have boots on ground, the better you'll be able to handle the security challenges.
All right. Dear Governor Oyebanji, we wish you well. In fact, we wish you Godspeed. as you make to tackle the unnerving problem of insecurity in my country. Okay, then, to our next story. Brings us to Lagos, our Lagos. You know, Lagos, Nigeria's social and economic hub, has continued to set standard for governance and development in the country. The city is not neglecting the grassroots in this stride. It was an emotional and historic moment in the Agboyi K2 Local Council Development Area, LCDA. State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu inaugurated 5 major projects in the area, a culmination of 8 years of developmental stride by the outgoing chairman, Dele Oshinowo. Now, let's share the story by our own senior reporter, Ayo Ajeigbe. Come with us.
The colors of celebration met the spirit of legacy in Agboyi K2 LCDA as Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu led the official commissioning of 5 landmark projects that speak to education, technology, sports, and infrastructure. Top on the list, the Bushra Ali Bioshu multipurpose building, a state-of-the-art structure that will serve administrative, civic, and community purposes.
For our incoming chairman, we always pray that our children should do better than us. So my prayer is that he will even do better than Honorable Oshinowo. Is that not so? The prayer that he should give her, Dele Oshinowo, is that she will, even in her own time, build bigger things, be committed to bigger development. That is what we're expecting of you.
For Dele Oshinowo, the outgoing chairman, it was a farewell drenched in gratitude and fulfillment. After 8 years in office, he says the LCD has become a beacon of commercial excellence and community renewal.
We are handing over legacies. Look around you, from roads to school, from empowerment programs to digital innovation, from housing estates to modern administrative structure, from markets to health intervention. Every corner of Agboyi K2 bears witness to our covenant with the people. And how fitting it is that even on every last day of this administration, we are still doing what we have always done, delivering.
Incoming Chairman Adetola Aduni Abubakar pledged to uphold the vision, promising to deliver more people-focused development.
I assure you that this baton of leadership will not fall. I will pick it from this point and hit the ground running. We are not starting from the scratch. We will be on legacy. And by God's grace, with your support, we will soar even higher.
From political leaders to community members, the ceremony brought tears, applause, and a deep sense of pride, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter for Agboyi K2. Ayomide Ajeigbe, TVC News, Lagos.
In the heart of Africa's largest economy, a silent transformation is unfolding. At the center of it all is Konga Group, an ecosystem of innovation, commerce, and capability.
Our goal was simple, yet ambitious: to build robust infrastructure that simply connects our customers and our merchants, offering our customers greater variety while creating wealth and new opportunities for our merchants.
Our edge isn't just tech, it's about national execution every day.
Konga Health, where science meets beauty.
We are the engine behind Konga's nationwide delivery power.
We are redefining commerce in Nigeria, connecting millions of buyers and sellers through a secure, trusted, and scalable marketplace.
Konga Corporates serves the needs of corporates, delivered at the right price, at the right time, with peace of mind.
Konga Pay, a fintech built on integrity for seamless transactions for merchants and everyone.
Konga Radio and TV, connecting brands to their target audience and markets.
With Konga, what can't you do? Konga Group, the e-commerce group you trust.
Yeah, Mayor, we have seen it. Governance is not rocket science. And the moment you do it, the pictures will be there to show.
Yeah, let me start by saying that as somebody from this state, from Lagos State,
okay,
I'm very proud about the quality of leadership in this state. Lagos State has shown since the time of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that is well ahead of other states when it comes to delivery of good governance.
It was not named Center of Excellence for nothing.
For nothing, because what we are celebrating or what we are discussing are things done by an LCDA.
Okay.
It's the kind of things that some states will celebrate. That is what just one LCDA in the 57 that across the country is celebrating. This is an outgoing chairman still delivering the dividends of democracy to the people of that local government.
Even if he's outgoing.
That's what I'm saying. So it shows the quality of leadership that we have in the state. We are not even talking of the governor that is doing things and have been able to build Lagos State to a mega state, big economy. But that has influenced local government chairmen and LDC chairmen to know that they have to keep up with the leadership that has been shown by the governor. And I'm so proud of what our leaders, especially in the local government areas, are doing instead. Because in most local governments all across the country, you can't see the sign that there is a government in charge. They collect those things. Sometimes you wonder whether we have even leadership in those local government areas. But in Lagos State, they compete among themselves. They show that they know what they are doing. And it's something to be proud of. It's something to be proud of because we cannot afford to lower the standards. And I hope that the incoming chairman should be able to build on that foundation, solid foundation that has been done. This is Agboiketu, but like that, you can reenact the story in Ojodu, in Shomolu, in everywhere. There are a lot of chairmen that are doing great things that you will be proud that this is what we expect, and this is the minimum that you expect from your leaders.
Biko, we are coming over. Lagos, you can't talk about Lagos of the 21st century without the picture of the greater Lagos in mind. So you must set the stage, if you understand me.
Yes, Lagos is a center of excellence and the delivery of the dividends of democracy to their people. Local council chairmen and the chairmen of LCDs are expected to be up and doing. They are expected to make a difference. And as Mayor said, look, the council chairmen in Lagos are people that we can be proud of because a good number of them are doing very well. What you have seen him, what Mayor Dele Oshieme has done is impressive.
Oshinowo,
Mayor Dele Oshinowo, yes. What he has done is come up with new roads, schools, housing estates, markets, a new primary school, ICT hub, sports center, new projects. Even as he's leaving office, he has come up with new projects. And that's why it was an emotional situation. He couldn't help shedding tears at some point, and some of the people too were shedding tears. All they can hope for is that the person succeeding him will keep the fire burning, will be able to do even better. The governor said that we expect even something better from the successor. Having said that, in Lagos State currently, we've done a few things about some of the council chairmen who are doing well. People like Abdul Salau, who was chairman of Shomolu local government. They famously call him Dula. Dula, you need to see some of the achievements of Dula. Dula was clearly one of the best chairmen across our country, and he even won awards for best chairman in Nigeria, not once, because of the solid footprints that he has left in that state. We also had Razak Ajala of Odiolowo, Juwe, Thomas Bamigboye of Mushin, Thomas was the first local government chairman to come up with a local government-owned radio station.
Wow.
That is a first.
Yeah.
It's a first in Lagos State. No local government ever had a radio station of its own. But Thomas came up with that. We also have Kolade Alabi of Bariga. In fact, Governor Sanwo-Olu also inaugurated some projects initiated and completed by Kolade Alabi of Bariga.
Yeah.
You know, as they were bowing out of office. Then Johnson, Sunday Babatunde of Orile Agege, Kola Egunjobi of Agege. So many of them who have really made us proud in terms of the work that they have done. And those who have been pushing that we must do everything to make government nearer and nearer to the people. You can see the benefit of that now. Because these are not projects initiated or completed by Sanwo-Olu. But we've seen these people build big hospitals, big health centers, big markets. Local council development area chairman, not even local government chairman. No. So I'm really positive that things will continue to get better because those coming in now, having won the election recently, they know that they must keep the flag flying.
Yeah.
They know that they will only be relevant. And the ones who are not doing well, they know themselves. In fact, one local government chairman carved out of Oshodi. He knows that he has not done well.
Yeah.
We will call out those of them who are not doing well. So because they need to sit up, we'll keep our eyes on this new chairman. The ones who fail to perform, we will call them out so that the authorities can do something about them, so that their constituents too can do something about it. This is what we want.
Oh, yeah.
We want the standard to be high. This is Lagos, for God's sake.
And from the local government, or in this case, the LCDA mayor, that's the one that is closest to the people.
Yes, because local government is very important when it comes to providing the necessary things for the people. Because it is easier for somebody to walk into the local government and see the local government chairman or your councillor and complain about things that is going on. Not only that, because they are closer to the people, they know the problems. They can see those problems and make efforts to do that, unlike the president that is far away or the governor that has to attend to so many people.
Okay.
And that is
otherwise, the chairman of the LCDA or a local government is the governor of that local government.
Of course, because the chief executive of that local government. Yes.
Yeah. So, but need we say more? Now to our next story. You know, one cannot get tired of quoting the first German chancellor and political theorist Otto von Bismarck on politics. He said, let me quote him, "Politics is the art of the attainable, the art of the possible," end quote. Now, former Anambra State helmsman Peter Obi has caught the eye of the main opposition party in my country, your country, the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Obi had quit ABGA, remember, and PDP before now. He became the presidential flag bearer for the Labour Party in 2023. Today, a founding member of the PDP, Professor Jerry Garner, has let it be known that the party is holding discussions with Peter Obi ahead of the 2027 general election. Would Peter Obi return home? We are waiting for what happens next.
Yes. If Peter Obi decides to go back to PDP, it's a strong platform. PDP, despite the problems that they are having, it's a strong platform. But I don't think he should do that. Because one, if he goes back to PDP, there is no guarantee.
Mayor, you are humoring me.
There is no.
You know he's watching you.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You should not do that. Because there is no guarantee that he's even going to get a ticket in PDP. That is number one. And yes, because there's no guarantee that he will get the ticket. Because there are some tendencies beneath the PDP now who are in control of the decisions within the party.
Yeah.
And it will be difficult for him to come back and win the primaries, except they're not going to do the primary. If they decide that they are going to do primary, I can't see him winning the primary to be the candidate of the party. But PDP is a stronger platform than Labour Party, where it's currently is. And it's been trying to associate with the so-called coalition in ADC, which again, I don't see him getting anything there because Atiku seems to have locked down ADC. And when they do the primary, Atiku is likely to emerge as the candidate. But what that says, even if he goes back to PDP, what that means is that history may likely repeat itself. In the 2023 election, there were 3 major candidates. And because of that, the President Tinubu emerged because the 2 other people were able to reduce their votes or be in Labour from PDP, what could have been a PDP vote. And I see that happening again because whether in PDP or whether in Labour, Obi is not going to contest under ADC. So Obi is going to run on another platform, either Labour or PDP, if PDP decides to hand over their ticket to him. And then you will still have Atiku that is going to run in ADC.
Hand over the ticket to the South.
To him, because Professor Jerikana is an elder within the party. And he's saying that, they are trying to talk to him so that they can say that, let the South, since the president's from the South, and the South is expected to spend the 8 years on the unwritten law that between both parties. But what I'm saying is that if they decide, even if they decide to hand over the ticket to him, that will not change the scenario because we'll still have the same scenario. The only difference is just that Atiku, instead of being PDP, will now be in ADC, and will be, instead of being in Labour, will be in PDP. But what I'm saying is that we'll still have the same different parties, and there's no way. The only way the opposition stands a chance to defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is if all of them come together within a
coalesce under
in a party,
an umbrella, under
one umbrella, all of them.
Yeah.
If they decide to take him on in separate parties, they can never win, never.
Mayor, I know you are not speaking for BKO. BKO has his way of weighing in on things like this. BKO, well, let's turn things over to you. Are you there?
Yeah, yes, I am. Professor Jerry Ghana has been in the party forever. And to people like Jerry Ghana, people like Sule Lamido, Nigeria's former foreign affairs minister, former governor of, two-time governor of Jigawa State.
Yeah.
PDP is home. They have no intention to join any other party. And people like Dr. Babangida Aliyu, former governor of Niger State, they are in that bracket. They do not want to go elsewhere. So they want to stay in the PDP and rebuild it. And one of the positive signs emerged in the course of last week when they finally agreed on the convention for the party, and that the convention has been fixed for November 15 and 16 in Ibadan. Before now, to even have a NEC, to agree on a date for a NEC meeting, it took PDP forever. Months they could not agree on a NEC meeting. But you can see they've now agreed on a convention. And ahead of that convention, they've also decided that the presidency will now be zoned to the south of Nigeria, which makes people like Peter Obi eminently qualified to throw their hat in the ring.
Yeah.
But if he goes there, PDP governors have a history of backing one of their own for the presidential ticket.
Yeah.
In 2019, because Atiku chose Peter Obi as his
running mate.
Yeah. The PDP governors at that time, they were very angry, and they said he shouldn't have chosen Peter Obi, that he should have consulted them so that amongst them they can then present a candidate. The governors of PDP believe that they own the party. And it's just like that in the APC too, where the APC had crisis. One of the governors emerged as caretaker chairman, the governor of Yobe. The governors decided to extend his stay. And when the governors got fed up of the antics, of what they felt Malabune was doing, they decided that, Malabune's time should come to an end. Yeah. He actually fancied his chances of conducting the primaries of the party at that time, but the governors said no, that they will put someone else, and then they put another former governor in charge of the party. So if Peter Obi listens to Professor Jerry Gana, who has been mandated to help woo some former PDP members back into his fold, with the argument that they are now rebuilding, that they've been able to put their house in order based on this decision that they have reached to have a convention where a new chairman will emerge, where the zoning formula will be
concretized.
Yes, concretized, and positions should be zoned to various geopolitical zones and all that.
Yeah.
To them, that shows that they are ready for business. That the big crisis that they faced, which led to defection of many members, has now come to an end. So that is what they want to use to appeal to Peter Obi that, look, come to our party. And Peter Obi is facing crisis in the Labour Party. Whether he likes it or not, he's not sure of how the courts will resolve the lingering contest between his own faction, where Governor Oti also belongs, and the Abure faction. Nobody can say with finality that this is how it will end. So the PDP are trying to tell him that, look, since nobody knows how the crisis will end, come to our place. We are going to give you the ticket. The ticket has been zoned the south, so come. But he should know in his heart that the governors would rather back one of them the same way they did in 2019 when they rejected Peter Obi and decided to give, some of them did anti-party and gave Atiku and gave Buhari votes that he wouldn't have received if they had been together. So they are not likely to support him this time because they would rather support maybe a Makinde. This contest for the soul of PDP is between Makinde and Wike. Makinde, by successfully convincing stakeholders in the party to allow the convention to hold in Ibadan, has gained a kind of hedge in this whole battle for the soul of the PDP.
Yeah.
And if at the end of the convention, which will produce a new chairman, if tendencies loyal to Makinde succeed in producing the chairman and some critical members of the ESCO and NWC, it then means that it could help Makinde to become the standard bearer of the party in May 2026.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
2026, when they will have a convention that will produce
the flag bearer
candidate presidential election. Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe that Makinde has a chance, and it's been speculated that Makinde will have Bala as his deputy. That combination, there's no way Peter Obi can do anything against such a combination. And he is not even known to have won a primary election of this size. It's not known. He has not got the resources to counter those governors. So if he goes there, it's best for him to remain where he will simply be given the ticket without sweating.
Thank you, BKO. You know, Mayor, I will agree with Otto von Bismarck. He said, politics is not an exact science. But sociologists have told you and I that politics is a behavioral science.
Yeah, because in politics, you can project, you can plan, and because it's about interest. What is important in politics is about interest, and that is why it's going to be very interesting in 2027. Right now, there are two tendencies within PDP right now: the Wike faction and the governors faction. And I think the governors faction is the most powerful faction within the party. So for somebody to come, and you see, elders like Jerry Ghana may want to do things, but they don't have the power to impose somebody.
All right, Mayor, thank you. So, you know, politicians, you agree, will keep you and I guessing. Now, let's talk power now. You know, power generation companies, also known as GENCOs in our country, number about 29. They were set up to boost power generation, which in turn would create an enabling environment for converting different forms of energy into usable electrical forms. Now, when the GENCOs became indebted, the viability of power generation became threatened. The good news, as we sit here, is that Mr. President and number one citizen, Bola Tinubu, has come to the rescue. In a meeting with chairmen of GENCOs on Friday, the president appealed to them to give the government more time to complete the process of redeeming the debt owed to them. So let's first hear from Mr. President.
Without power, industrialization, and even human life is impossible. The power, I believe, is the most important discovery of humanity in the last 1,000 years. The economic will grow and we will consume more energy. We'll be in position to pay our debts. We'll give you papers to trade, and they will give you utilize to ensure continuity in the business.
If we look at it broadly, sir, it is a testimony to your modus operandi and your leadership, confronting long-standing, sticky, vexatious problems which some have avoided or ignored or been unable to deal with. Of course, that applies to your macroeconomic reforms.
But it's not only important, it's not only enough to say that they should give him time to be able to solve the problem. What I think that they should do is
when. It looks like it is time. Government says it is time to solve it once and for all. Do you see this?
To realize critically.
For all. Do you see this?
To realize critically that once you have privatized, the job of government is to bring on board effective sector regulation, money in effective sector regulation, money in anybody's currency, Let's not sweep it under the ground. I, Yemi Oke, admit the death, but so what did Mbeth do to mitigate those needless debt overhang over time. Those needless debt overhang over time. What did the NRC as a but I also have an obligation as a Nigerian, a patriotic obligation to say the truth. I need a patriotic obligation to say the truth. I need those claims to be verified.
Of money, who also have claims.
Claims to be verified.
Of money, who also have claims. The discos are owed so much money by even government agencies, the armed forces, and all that. How can...
Okay, let me look at it this way. On the...
That is cost-reflective tariff.
Yes.
On the... That is cost-reflective tariff.
Yes. Let's just look at it from the point of view of practicality. If you conduct it, let's just look at it from the point of view of practicality. If you conduct a survey now on the 4 trillion naira debt overhang, of needless debt in this sector. So there are debts in this sector. So there are fundamental things we need to do that we've done. Fundamental things we need to do that we've done as a country. Policy measures we've done as a country. Policy measures have been deployed. Strategic as a country. Policy measures have been deployed. Strategic steps have been deployed. Strategic steps have been taken, including
is that the privatization was not done properly. A lot of the players in the industry, the session was not done properly. A lot of the players in the industry did not come in with the necessary funds to be able to build capacity. And the necessary funds to be able to build capacity. And they are still being built capacity. And they are still being spoon-fed by government. What in your...
Taking steps to correct those mistakes? To me, the answer is yes and no. The answer is yes to the answer is yes and no. The answer is yes to the extent that we've not started doing what ought to have been done, what even the current, one of the leading. And the leading, especially the power sector funding, is still very much there.
Yeah.
Part of which is this 4 trillion kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Part of which is this 4 trillion kind of a thing. And you ask yourself questions. Mayor. You know, before we privatize, we are doing for less than 5,000.
Okay, Prof, we'll leave it there.
Less than 5,000.
Okay, Prof, we'll leave it there for the moment, but let's agree you have opened the can for us. Our job is to give context to what you have told us, Abi.
Yes.
Give context to what you have told us, Abi.
Yes, I
will. And thank
you very much.
Reputation and its serene yet beautiful appeal, I decided it was a must visit while in Kaduna to assess developmental projects. It's 10-minute drive for Sundays.
We learned that it's coming from Kagoro Hill down to this place and passes through to Gurara Falls.
Waterfalls.
So
once the road is completed?
Once the road is completed,
okay,
you will see the,
Okay. Branding environment is equally beautiful. Locals generate...
I think, yes, it's an important, not only for tourism, may generate electricity. For us. Exploring, there are so many tourists exploring. There are so many tourist attraction potential that have been neglected where in the other part of the world,
that our tourism in the States were. But as can see now that our tourism in the States were. But as can see now the coming of His Excellency Senator Obasani, the issue of security has really gone down.
Tourism in Southern Kaduna. Tourism in Southern Kaduna.
For the people of Kaduna State, especially for the people of Kaduna State, especially residents of this area and lovers of tourism, because in a few years from now, this Matriga waterfall will be on the lips of Nigerians, because this whole area will have been developed and more Nigerians will see the need to come here, to come and feel the beauty of nature. Nature in its raw beauty. It has not been explored. It has not been developed in any way. This is our own Niagara Falls. Here in Zango-Katab local government area of Kaduna State. Babajide Kolade Otitoju, TVC News, Zango-Katab, Kaduna.
Yeah, thank you, MKO. BKO. Was I going to say MKO? Thank you, BKO. Yeah, Mayor, but you know, this country is replete with natural resources.
You see, when America say God's own country, Nigeria is the real God's own country.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have everything. In every state that you go to, you will see tourism potentials, you will see mineral resources. We are blessed. It's just for us to harness.
What I saw now tells me, I'm thinking power. We can generate electricity.
Yes, we can generate electricity. Not only that, we can turn that environment, Zawu-Kantab, to a tourist destination if it's properly done. You know, the other time, last week, we were discussing Kogosi and what they've done to Kogosi.
And we mentioned Obodokatu Ranch.
Obodokatu Ranch and all that. Yankari Games Reserve. This is another place.
Mambila Plateau.
This is another place that I think the Kaduna State government should look at.
Yeah.
They can turn it to a tourist destination, you know, because waterfalls all over the world is something that is a beauty to behold.
Yeah.
So it's important for us, and apart from that, we can also tap in and use it for energy sources, because what we have in Kanji is something like that, where when you have source of water that you can use.
Yeah.
But I see it more of that tourist destination. So it's important for us to develop tourism. There are a lot of countries, you know, like we discussed, Dubai and so on, making so much money from tourism. And we should start looking towards that, because we have different tourist sites in Nigeria that are very interesting.
When I remember, I'm sure you do too, that Kenya relies on tea and fresh flowers and tourism.
Oh, yes, because they'll be able to do that. They'll be able to develop their own tourism potential. In Africa, Kenya is one of the leading tourist centers. Rwanda is also coming up now. You know, when they attract, because there are a lot of tourists from all over the world that goes to Kenya. And especially the southern part of Kenya.
Yeah. Mayor, let's hear from BKO himself. BKO, welcome back from Masiga, right? How do you pronounce it?
Masriga.
Masriga, okay.
Masriga.
Yeah, so what can you tell us here, you know, for our consumption?
You know, I was driving through and I saw it. It was not part of the places that I wanted to see.
Okay.
But once I saw it, I then said, no, take me to that place. And we had to signal to the security people who accompanied me to let us go close to the place. And I was like, how can we have this kind of thing and nobody was visiting, no tourist was there on that day? I mean, there's a waterfall and it's an unusual one in terms of the beauty is so natural,
untapped,
unexplored, yes. Waterfalls everywhere. You see people taking a shower, just having a feel of it. But on that day, nobody was there except for the local people who are mining sand in the area. So I just felt I needed to do something. Look, if Malaysia had something like this, or the UAE people, Dubai, if they have something like this, they will be making billions of dollars. And every year, despite the fact that in the UAE, they have oil, they've decided to focus on tourism. And tourism is bringing so much money to them. Every country needs to take tourism seriously. And in our country, we have not taken it seriously.
Yeah.
There's still a lot that we need to do. We were talking about Obudu the other day. I don't like recalling what I saw in Obudu. I don't like recalling it. Because even the cable car station, the whole place, when I visited, the whole place was covered by cobwebs.
Okay.
The cable car station. And you can imagine how much money was invested in installing those cable cars. What is Obudu is neglected. It's like after Donald Duke left, nobody was interested.
Yeah.
And that was a place where Obasanjo once took the national ESCO to. He took his ministers to the place for their retreat. It should be our own Camp David, where our president can receive world leaders, because the weather is excellent.
All right. Biko, Biko, the backroom boy says it's time up, but again, they don't understand that when you are relieving something that comes deep from your heart, you won't realize time is flying. But thank you for your weighing. Thank you very kindly.
This one, we made our point.
At least we've made our point. Mayor Akinpelu, I thank you too.
Thank you for having me.
We greet the backroom boys as well. But let's close it like this. The show ends here, but if you missed any part of this, not to worry. Later tonight at 11:30, a repeat broadcast will take the airtime. But our usual episode of 5 p.m. will take the airtime tomorrow at that time. So join us. All right, then. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care of yourself.
I'm a real Nigerian, accountable Nigerian, a caring Nigerian. I live by the citizens' code. I'm a real.
Hello, fellow Nigerians. I'm Larry Saunilu, the Director General